This is another thing haters do is they actually consume your content, which is fucking wildly enough. How do they have the knowledge to be able to combat you? How do they have the information to be able to throw in your face if they're not consuming your content? It's the strangest thing to me. So if you're a hater and you're watching this or listening to this, I would love, you know what? I would love to interview you. I would love to get to the bottom, and I'll open myself up for shots fired, because there's plenty of things you can take shots at me for. Look, I'm honest about that. I used to be a shitty person back in my previous life. I used to, I was a kid, right? But I've grown up now. I'm not the same motherfucker I was back then. However, you start to look at these haters, and it's like, bro, you're repeating the same shit over and over and over, year after year after year. Why have you not grown up yet? What's up, guys? Welcome to the Return on Investment MF channel. It's your host, Zack, ROI Williams, and this is the information your haters don't want you to hear about: becoming the most badass version of yourself in business. What's going on, everybody? It's Zack, ROI Williams, back with another episode of Return on Investment MF channel. So today's going to be fun. I'm a little behind under the weather, so you probably are going to hear that, but we ended up deciding to say, fuck your excuses. We're going to push through this shit because I got something important to talk to you about. This one came from a little bit of coaching that I had with one of my buddies. I hear this all the time, and I deal with this a lot personally. The haters, right? Fuck them. Fuck the haters. And in fact, actually, it's a few of my buddies that have been going through this at the same time. And it's not necessarily that it's a coincidence. It just happens that I'm making myself available to more and more people. And this is just such a common denominator that it starts popping up in multiple people's lives all at one time. And it's the fucking haters, man. Why? Why do y'all, first of all, how do you have the time to do all that? Like, I thought about being a hater once in my life, right? And then I realized how much fucking time it takes, right? I'd see some people that were, let's say, misleading information, misleading people, being just kind of pieces of shit, and I wanted to correct them. And then I had to realize, was my time worth it? Was dedicating time to try and bring them to justice worth it? Now, in my head, here I am being a modern-day Robin Hood in my mind, right? I'm like, oh, I'm going to save these people from being taken advantage of. These dudes are pieces of shit, yada, yada, yada. That's one thing. My mind can almost wrap around being that modern-day Robin Hood and trying to save people who are stealing from the poor. Well, what happens when the guys are sitting in their mom's basement? And what goes through their head where they're like, this guy's doing good for the world. This dude's going out there and he's hustling. He's working for himself. He's trying to do good. He's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to build an empire. Let me knock this motherfucker down. How? What? I cannot. And if you're a hater and you're listening to this, because this is another thing haters do, is they actually consume your content, which is fucking wildly enough. How do they have the knowledge to be able to combat you? How do they have the information to be able to throw in your face if they're not consuming your content? It's the strangest thing to me. So if you're a hater and you're watching this or listening to this, I would love, you know what? I would love to interview you. I would love to get to the bottom, and I'll open myself up for shots fired, because there's plenty of things you can take shots at me for. Look, I'm honest about that. I used to be a shitty person back in my previous life. I used to, I was a kid, right? But I've grown up now. I'm not the same motherfucker I was back then. However, you start to look at these haters, and it's like, bro, you're repeating the same shit over and over and over, year after year after year. Why have you not grown up yet? But anyways, I'd love to interview you. I'd love to figure out what makes your brain trigger to say, like, this is someone I'm going to attach myself to. Because I used to have someone that, and it's funny, he sure as fuck stopped. You listen to Ryan Stewman speak a lot, right? And he's always like, man, I got receipts for everything. And he's not talking about, hey, I paid for this and they gave me a receipt. He's saying, I got proof of everything I fucking have done. You look at someone like Jay Bird, who claims he's completed 75 hard, right? That's a claim he made, right? If we look at the true definition of what the word claim is, Jaybird claims he completed 75 hard. But what are the receipts? How do you prove that you've completed 75 hard, right? How do you get receipts on that? Well, if you look at his before and after picture, holy fucking shit, dog. He's a whole nother person. Not only is he a whole nother person physically, which is a receipt of him completing 75 hard, because you don't just fucking drink a fucking shake, I don't care who you are, and you lose 20 pounds healthily and build muscle in 75 days like he has. But that is a receipt, right? That is something that he can prove, hey, I did this. It matches the claim he made. But you also start looking at his posts. Look how his posts have changed over the last 75 days. Look at how his mind is operating differently. You don't just wake up one day, read one fucking book, and then boom, your life is completely changed. It takes dedication to consuming the information, applying it to your life, and then taking the initiative to putting it into the new standard of what your life should be. Those are receipts for things. You know, I'm going to shout out my boy Adam. My boy Adam, he's young. He's 23 years old. And he's a phenomenal photographer. Shout out Creative Customs. Check him out. Phenomenal photographer and videographer, graphic designer. This dude is just an incredible mind as a kid. And he was just pumping himself up. He was excited because he has doubled his revenue year over year from last year to this year. And someone jumped in his DMs talking shit to him about how he shouldn't be flaunting his money and this and that. And mind you, if you know Adam, he's one of the most humble people I think I've ever met. And actually, fuck the word humble. If you don't know what the word humble means, go Google it. I do not like the fucking word humble. Fuck you. And I'm saying fuck you to the word. Fuck you. We're not humble around here. We are not motherfucking humble around here. All right? But what's another good word for it? You know, he's just a good fucking guy. A good fucking guy. And, you know, I never hear him brag about anything. So for him, this was a true form of excitement for him. This is the receipts that he's doing the right thing, right? You know, yes, this is going to be a financial and numerical number, but to double your net revenue year over year, it's not easy. It's hard. It takes work and work ethic, and it takes applying yourself, and it takes dedicating yourself to your craft, which is what he's done. And due to that, the receipts, the proof of it, is his net revenue. And that was awesome for him. And so he was just using that as motivation and inspiration for other people that are looking up to him. And this dude want to come shit on it. You know, it's just crazy to me. I had a hater one time that used to come on to all my shit, and he would literally, I don't know how you have this much time. He would make up fake names. He would make up fake emails. He would literally create the emails and sign up in my lead gen to fuck my ad cost up, and then just to talk shit to me. And, you know, it's comical to me because he was seeing everything. He was seeing my receipts. He was seeing the fact that I'm putting in the fucking work. Like, I built something really great here for myself and for my family. And for that, I'm proud. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been a lot of long hours. It's been a lot of grinding. For that, I'm not necessarily proud. I'm proud that I did what it took to get here. But along the way, there was a lot of sacrifices. You know, time is only a limited amount, a finite amount. It's only a limited amount of opportunity. So if you take time from here to put over here, now you've got less of this. You got more of this. And if you take more of that and put it over here, you got less and less. So here I am faced with building a future for myself, my wife, and my daughter, taking time away from them to apply to this business. But what are we really working here for? You know, it's funny, as entrepreneurs, it's easy. And I actually took this mindset from, I was watching a documentary on criminals. And the criminals were talking about scamming people. And they were talking about how this dude he was working in corporate America, and he was skimming some off the top, right? And it was more and more and more and more, and it went on longer and longer and longer and longer. And he said it was funny how in his mind he was justifying these actions, right? Oh, I just need to get enough to get my daughter through school. Okay, cool. I got enough. All right, now I got enough to send my son to school. All right, cool. Now I've got enough. Well, now I really need a reliable vehicle to be putting them in. Okay, I got the reliable vehicle. Okay, well, I need to put them in a better home that's in a better neighborhood and this and that, whatever. Then boom, boom. All these justifications keep coming up. Justification, 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 right? Until you're like, it was never about the kids in the first place. It was just because I wanted to make all this money, right? And I applied that to myself, or I didn't necessarily apply it to myself, but I held a mirror up and I was like, okay, cool. I'm not robbing people. I'm not scamming people. I'm not a felon. I'm not any of this stuff. But also, I am stealing something. I'm stealing time away from other aspects of my life to apply to this. So at what point for me does it become where it's not about my wife and daughter? It's just because selfishly I want to make a shit ton of fucking money. So you got to start thinking about who you are and what your true ambitions and goals are and what your core values are and what your mission is, to make sure that what you're doing lines up with that, to make sure that you're a good fucking person that these haters can't come after you for. So I want you to think about that. I want you to take these things into consideration, because these haters will come for you after everything, the good, the bad, and they will find a way to spin it that fits their prerogative. They're not good people. So I want you to understand that as you're going through this and as you're dealing with these motherfuckers, just think about the type of person that they are. What type of person has enough evil in their heart and soul that they're going to steal time away from everything else they're doing? They're stealing time away from their families, stealing time away from their friends. They're stealing time away from their own dreams and goals to fight you. It's a very, very, very sad concept. I genuinely feel sorry and I genuinely feel bad for them. That's fucked up. They are losing precious time, their most valuable asset, to try and throw dirt on your name. Mind you, if you've built your life up the right way, that dirt will never stick. Now, before anyone gets in my DMs, be like, motherfucker, I've seen you arguing with haters before, or I've seen you busting them out, giving them their 15 seconds of fame that they wanted. I'll be the first to admit, I'm not always the best at it. But just know, for everyone that I do talk shit back to, or for everyone that I do end up posting to bust out, there's 100 others behind them. So me dealing with the haters is not, I'm used to it. I've done my best to try and build a persona, a life, a lifestyle, a relationship, to where I allow that to speak for itself. I don't need to defend myself against the haters, because the real ones fucking know. But I will say that if you're sitting here dealing with this and subconsciously worried about appeasing all the haters, I want to let you know, first and foremost, that you never will. But this is a good thing, because while you're worried about appeasing the haters or making them happy, let me tell you that a hater is never going to do business with you ever. They are never going to do business with you. So for the amount of time for you to think, oh, I need to change their mind, or I need to, work on them, or let me help save them, they're never going to do business with you. They're never going to do business with you. So just fucking block them, delete them, get rid of them, or just let them stay. I don't give a shit. Every once in a while, you'll see me, I'll roast the fuck out of a hater. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I just don't have enough time to do that anymore. I don't have enough time to dedicate to roasting the fuck out of a hater and making him feel like a complete fucking idiot. And I will. I'll do it. I'll do it again in the future. Shit, I might do it today. Who knows? I'm not saying that's the most healthy thought process. And I'll be the first to admit that My thought process is I let it go long enough, and at some point I need to put my dick on the table and let them know, I'm fucking watching. And it's not that I don't give a shit. It's not that they're hurting my feelings or whatever, but I'll light their ass up for a second. I'll roast them because they're not smarter than I am. So I'll make them fucking run around in circles chasing their own fucking tail, and then I'll fucking blow them out of the water. But that's neither here nor there. It's fine. It's fine that you have haters. It's a good sign that you have haters because that means that you are making enough movement in the right direction that it's ruffling feathers. People are starting to get jealous of the success that you're seeing, the happiness that you have, and they are going to attack you. They're like vampires. They want to attach themselves to you and drain you of your energy because that's what they feed on, and they know it makes you weaker. So don't let these motherfuckers win. They're trying to make you weak, and you're not that motherfucker. You're stronger than they are. You're a badder motherfucker than they are. Don't let these motherfuckers consume your attention, consume your valuable time, and allow you to steal time away from building what the fuck it is you're trying to build and applying it over to their part of the life of life. To you're stealing time away from building what you truly want to build and putting it in their time block. And that's time you're never going to get away again. So fuck those people. They're never going to do business with you. All they're doing is trying to steal time away from you to make you weak. And guess what? They're not bad enough to fucking beat you, but your competitors are. So all they're going to try and do is make you weak, make you weak, make you weak, and ultimately make you weak enough that your competitors can beat you. And then when your competitors beat you, your fucking hater wins. Fuck them. Fuck that. Do not let your haters get to you. You keep fucking pushing. You keep fucking going. And you keep fucking winning. And that is your goddamn rule. That is your goddamn, that is your goal, is to stay focused on the end. Stay focused on the prize. And don't let these motherfuckers distract you from it. My name is Zack ROI Williams. This is another episode of Return on Investment MF channel. I hope you had a good time. Peace. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video at all or got anything else out of it, please check out these videos over here. They're going to be right in line with what you just saw.